When most people think of Toronto's transit map, they picture the familiar curved shape of the Line 1 Yonge University subway, the East-West Line 2 Bloor Danforth, and perhaps the newly constructed Crosstown and Ontario line stitched on top of the old skeleton. But thanks to the brilliant imagination of a University of Waterloo student named Corey and the thoughtful coverage by Block TO, we're now able to begin visualizing what this city's transit future could really look like, not just as a set of lines on paper, but as a transformed system worthy of a global metropolis. What makes Corey's concept so compelling is that it doesn't simply replicate what agencies like the TTC and Metrolinx are currently building or have officially approved. Instead, it extends beyond formal plans into a broader visionary network, one that imagines new rail corridors, imaginative extensions, and connections for bus-heavy corridors that have never had high-order transit service. This map, created with care by a mathematics student who understands both the limitations and possibilities of our transit system, shows us what a future network could feel like if density, sustainability, urban equity, and regional connectivity were put first. At its core, this future map builds on the projects that are already changing the GTA's transit landscape. The Eglinton Crosstown LRT Line 5 and Finch West LRT Line 6 are in the final stages of construction, bringing rapid transit to previously underserved corridors. The Ontario Line, a transformational new spine, is set to weave north, south, and east through Toronto's core, creating vastly more transfer points and relieving pressure on overloaded segments of Line 1. These elements represent the current frontier of transit expansion in Toronto and set the stage for even bigger ideas. Corey's future map takes these foundations and builds outwards in every direction. To the north, extensions of subway lines would reach into growing urban and suburban communities, making rapid rail service available in places that currently rely on buses or slow regional rail. To the west, lines could stretch into Etobicoke and Peel region, opening up transit-oriented development and providing alternatives to congested highways. To the east and southeast, new corridors would better link Scarborough with downtown, and even consider extending rapid lines towards Durham region. On a regional level, full integration with high-frequency regional rail, fast, frequent, and all-day GO services would erase the artificial boundary between local and commuter transit, giving riders seamless options across municipal lines. One of the most exciting features of this future map is how it reframes Toronto's transit network as a grid of connections, rather than just a set of spokes pointing towards downtown. Imagine a city where you don't have to travel into the core to get from Midtown to Mid-Scarborough, or where a trip from North York to Mississauga feels natural and direct because transit lines are arranged to facilitate that movement. This is the kind of network that lifts transit from being a functional necessity to a preferred choice of everyday movement. Cities that build high-quality grids instead of single-directional radials end up with more resilient, more equitable, and more sustainable systems. Integrated with this rail map would be a series of surface priority networks, dedicated bus rapid transit lanes, expanded streetcar right-of-ways, and frequent services that knit together the entire system. These are the threads that make the rail lines truly accessible. They bring riders from their doorstep to the closest rapid corridor without adding hours to their trip. Rapid TO corridors and improved crosstown bus routes would play a huge supporting role in this future network, smoothing connections and ensuring that underserved areas benefit from real transit investment. With this kind of vision, the benefits are profound. Travel times fall dramatically when people don't have to go downtown to transfer. Transit becomes a viable choice even outside peak hours. Carbon emissions shrink as fewer residents feel compelled to drive. Neighborhoods that historically lacked investment get a shot at economic revival. The city becomes more inclusive because mobility, the ability to go where work, education, and life happens, becomes a right, not a burden. But perhaps most importantly, this future map represents a shared civic imagination. It's a reminder that London, Paris's, and Tokyo's or New York's transit networks didn't just happen, they were envisioned first, by people who dreamed beyond the politics and fiscal constraints of their era. Corey's map and the coverage that brought it to light through Block TO aren't official blueprints yet. They are the kind of conversation starters that signal to planners, politicians, and everyday riders that a dramatically improved transit future is not only possible, it's necessary. Every change, extension, and new line drawn on this future map carries with it a story of urban growth, of shifting demographics, of evolving job markets and housing patterns, and of a region that refuses to plateau. As Toronto continues to grow into one of North America's largest and most dynamic cities, the transit lines of the future should do much more than move people. They should connect opportunities, bridge communities, and shape the city's density. This isn't just a pipe dream. It's a vision grounded in projects already underway and propelled by the creativity of citizens like Corey who take that deeper look at what transit could be. Taking inspiration from this work and turning it into policy and construction would bring Toronto closer to a transit network that matches its potential, ambition, and reality for decades to come. Having said all that, there is some real talent that comes out of the University of Waterloo, sometimes. Speaking as an economist with many years of experience in the world of complex calculations to achieve maximum efficiency, what I can tell you personally is that, at this point, that we're at right now, you can practically throw a dart at the map of Toronto and say, there, that would be a good place that we can do X to improve transit. Either way, we have a long way to go, and it's a good illustration rooted in a lot of fundamentals that I suspect will probably become reality one day, because some of these are a no-brainer. I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching, and happy transiting.